Yes, your stage.
So, hello everyone. Our topic today is the future of coral reefs and how the world adapts to the changes in 2070. So basically, we chose the UN goal 14, like life below water, and we focused on that. And we focused on the topic of the coral reefs. So today, we have brought you some artifacts from the future. Corals that you can drink, a robot that harvests corals, and underwater apartments that live in harmony with the ocean. If you want to know what this is all about, then you've come to the right place. But to understand these artifacts, I must first introduce you to the future in our vision. So let's paint the big picture. In our utopic future in 2070, the coral reefs have multiplied rapidly. There's now a surplus of corals in the world's oceans, which can also lead to problems. So after the reefs recovered from the damages of the climate change, the ecosystem is now fully functional again. The fish stocks have become as large that fishing industry no longer has any problems. And the corals also have built up heat resistance. But on the other hand, the corals have multiplied so fast that the marine food chain is disrupted at some points. In the Great Barrier Reef, for example, the corals have piled up so high that some places are no longer navigated by boat. So this is a major problem also for the tourism in particular. But how will future society adapt to this, and what do you do with a surplus of corals? These are the questions that we asked ourselves today, and to which we also have an answer on the end of this presentation. But to be able to think about the future, we must first take a look at the present. I'll give the floor to our specialist Alma, who will tell you more about it.
Thank you, Paula. To identify our trend signals, we were involved in observing the subtle shifts around the world and several impressive innovations. A small startup in Dubai is pioneering efforts to combat climate change by cultivating heat-tolerant corals. Dubai's warm water serves as an ideal testing ground for heat-tolerant corals. This design is able to withstand rising temperatures, ocean temperatures, and a major threat to coral reefs worldwide. Coral reefs are essential to the health of our planet, with over 500 million people depending on them for food, income, and protection. These innovations, like the heat-tolerant corals, are critical for safeguarding reefs against future climate change. Now let's talk about ongoing partnerships around the world. With coral gardeners to protect and restore coral reefs, a coral workshop included local volunteers and youth fostering environmental empowerment in the Tahiti community. It was an engagement with the community, surfers, kids, youth, and all. Our signals emphasize the commitment to ocean health and sustainability throughout community-based projects. Next slide, please. Thank you. Let's discuss the ecosystem services that are affected by corals. Coral reefs provide habitats and nurseries for fish and marine life. Coral reefs are home to 25% of all marine species. The fish industry. Coral reefs contribute to global fisheries, providing food for millions. Economically, sustaining coastal communities reliant on fishing. Tourism. It generates billions in revenue for coastal economies. It attracts tourists annually for snorkeling, diving, and beach activities. The carbon storage. Coral reefs act as a natural carbon sink, mitigating climate change. With this surplus of coral reefs now, there are new job opportunities that our expertise Patrice will tell you more about.
Let's meet our first persona. His name is Jonas Martin. He attended the University of Queensland and he has a degree in biological sciences of ecology. So he and his family run a local ecotourism business, and their livelihood is completely dependent on the coral reefs and the health and well-being of the ocean. His goals are sustainable business practices. He wants to continue to embrace the thriving coral reefs as they come back. He is interested in business diversification, so any type of green business that does support the coral reefs and benefits their survival. He wants to engage the community in also these green efforts, and he wants to have an enhanced tourism experience, which basically means he's changing the face of tourism, so it's less ecotourism in terms of let's just go visit the coral reefs, but more in terms of what can we do to protect the coral reefs for future generations. Financial stability is, of course, a key issue for his family. His pain points are all centered around climate change. So decreased income, unpredictable seasons, ecosystem decline, the rising operational costs and emotional strain are all based upon climate change and the unpredictability of the warming oceans, the rising tides, and as well as the death of the coral reefs. His family is closely tied to the ocean in which they rely for their livelihood, and they feel deeply connected to their community. Next slide, please. So how did Jonas's family get here? We're going to take a quick look. First, the Martins family learned about sustainable tourism workshops, and they received a grant. Then they evaluate options for solar-powered boat engines, which are better for the environment and better for the oceans, the whole ocean's ecological system, as well as the environment in general. The family secures a grant to retrofit their whole fleet of boats with these solar panels. And then they enroll in workshops that educate them on reef-safe tourism practices, which is key. The Martins then update their tour marketing to emphasize their eco-friendly initiatives, and they draw on a whole new wave of tourists who are interested in, who have the same beliefs or are interested in eco-friendly tourism. And then finally, this new approach attracts eco-conscious tourists that boost the revenue and gives them a sense of pride because they're contributing to the reef conservation and the rebuilding of the coral reefs, which have sustained their families for so many generations. Next slide, please. Due to the flourishing coral reefs, there are benefits that come from this. And one of them is a new employment opportunity. We have a fictitious ad in LinkedIn, and this is for Blue Earth Marine Solutions. And this is for a coral collector, a coral harvester. So this would be a diver who is certified, a certified diver who would also need to be certified in ecotourism practices and in ecology practices so that they do no harm when they collect the coral. In addition, this person would need to use our Coral Collector 2 device, which would require a special license. And this device that we created is beneficial for the reefs, and you will learn more about that in a moment.
That's right.
That's going to Sandra. Sorry, Sandra.
All good, all good. That's right. So here we have the Coral Collector 2, and this is basically an experience if you are a coral collector or coral harvester and you want to buy this coral collector machine. So basically you click here and then you're brought to this very nice screen for your mobile phone where you can just scroll around and look what exactly is the coral collector, how much does it cost. As we can see here, it costs 299 moolah, which is our future currency. And we can also check what kind of model do we want to add to the cart and maybe also the reviews because we are new in the industry. We don't know what exactly this does or if it's even good for newbies. And here we can get the experience from experienced divers. So yeah, that's right. Then we change back to our presentation and we have so much coral now that we have the Coral Collector 2. As you can see on the screen, he has specific claws that delicately harvest the corals from their reefs without destroying the surroundings. And in his glass chamber inside, these corals are being kept and not destroyed so we can still keep it to produce new products. For example, something that Paula will tell you now.
Yeah, so what do we do with all the coral that the harvesters harvested and also like the coral collector too? So, did you know that many of the corals contain nutrients and minerals that are very important for the human health, like for example, magnesium, calcium, selenium, or zinc? So we thought that we had to do something with the surplus of corals, so we developed Aqua, which is our new company. So this company basically sells coral-infused water, but also a special filter that we developed. This filter that you can see on the slide is 100% made out of coral, and fits on every water bottle that you have. So the filter can be used up to 100 times to infuse your water with the nutrients, and then you will need to get a new one. And to get this new filter, you can go on our website that you can see here. So we basically did a screen design where you can see our prototype, and you can see all the products. We have the coral infused water, we have the coral filter, and also a branded water bottle from Aqua that fits perfectly with the filter. So, but how do all the people live in this world together with the corals in 2070? That's something Alma will tell you about in our last prototype.
Yes, thank you, Paula. Well, yeah, now with all this excessive coral that we have in 2070, you can learn more about your dream living home here in Coral Bay. So you be one with the ocean at Coral Bay, you thrive in the heart of the reef, and you immerse yourself in a life where your home becomes one with nature, offering breathtaking underwater views and incredible marine experience. Next slide, please. Here at Coral Bay, you can explore different activities. With customized tours, you can schedule a private tour of a Coral Bay and experience your dream living. At Coral Bay, you can explore the vibrant coral reefs, dive into crystal clear waters, and discover the beauty of sustainable coastal living. You can contact us today to reserve your spot and experience the future of coastal living with your own terms. Next slide, please. So don't miss this experience. Book a tour with us at Coral Bay and contact Coral Bay Homes to reserve your spot.
Yeah, that's right. So here is what you can do so we can achieve this future state of this coral surplus. So first of all, it doesn't matter if you are in a landlocked country or living right at the beach. If corals are gone, it affects all of us. So our mission is clear: to create a sustainable world that benefits both people and the planet. So here's how. First of all, you could promote sustainable consumption. So you can empower communities to make choices that preserve our resources for future generations. Also, you can support climate action. You can join the fight against climate change with impactful initiatives that make a real difference. You can also take your time and motivation to raise awareness and educate. It's important to inspire action by spreading knowledge about sustainability and the role of corals and our role in protecting the earth as humans. You can also support conservation projects to keep the corals alive. For example, as we heard in the beginning in the signals, these coral gardening projects. And last but not least, you can encourage sustainable tourism. So you can advocate for responsible travel that leaves destinations better than we found them. So in the end, together we can turn small steps into a big change, and that's what we hope will be the future for corals. So thank you very much. That was our presentations. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
Next slide, Sonia.